Welcome to the Featured Anime Podcast. I'm your host, Jack.
And I'm Rick.
And today we are talking about Trapped in a Dating Sim. The world of otome games is tough for a mob. And it was a recommendation from Jeb, which was a very nice treat for us, to say the least. I know that I enjoyed it. Pretty sure Rick enjoyed it too, but
just minorly.
Right. Before all that, we were just kind of talking lightly a little bit at the beginning, talked about a little bit about this month's box and Tokyo treats and everything like that. If you want to catch a wider part of that conversation, go to patreon.com/featured anime podcast. $8 a month will gain you access to that bonus content. And as well as if you go to our show notes and go to our website at featuredanimepodcast.com, you'll find out how to contact us and get a hold of us and everything else and make recommendations. We love hearing from you, hearing recommendations and everything like that. And it really does help us out. And if you go to Spotify, Podchaser, anywhere else, leave us a rating, leave us a review, helps us grow, lets us know how we're doing. And it is very much appreciated. And before I dive into this week's choice, we want to talk about Tokyo Treat. Now, Tokyo Treat is a fun and exclusive Japanese snack box subscription service featuring exciting and unique flavors straight from Japan. And each box is filled with a variety of full-size Japanese snack items like limited edition Kit Kats, specially flavored Japanese chips, and occasionally Japanese sodas that are only available in Japan for a limited time. Now, every box comes with a cultural guide booklet, and this booklet contains Japanese culture and information and an explanation about each of the snacks and their flavor profiles, ingredients, and allergen information. Because honestly, when you're sitting there and you're trying to enjoy some nice, delicious treats, you want to make sure you're not going to be eating something you can't be eating, or things that you particularly shouldn't be eating at the very least. And this booklet helps protect you in that way. So not only do you get to learn about the snacks you're eating, but you learn more about Japan and their culture themselves. Now, every month also has a theme, and that's one of my favorite things about this box. Every month has a different theme about what's going on, and it's usually centered around a season or a holiday that's going on in Japan, promoting certain Japanese cultural celebrations that are happening. Now, known for its vibrant streets and mouth-watering eats, Osaka is a true food lover's paradise. And this month's theme is the Osaka Snackathon. That's right, this month is packed full of an exciting lineup of savory and sweet snacks that capture the city's most iconic flavors. Come explore Osaka with us on this month's Snackathon and celebrate the diverse tastes and treats that this amazing city has to offer. Now, a couple of the treats that are in there that I personally found very good, aside from the obviously delicious Kit Kats, which are the Mont Blanc this month, but you have the Koikia wasabi seaweed chips, which were delicious. The white chocolate crunch, honestly, loved them. They were absolutely delicious. The ramen dorayaki, which was absolutely delicious. And then one of my other personal favorites, and now this may not be for everyone, but the squid and pickled ginger tempura chips were absolutely delicious. I could not get enough of those. I just munched on those like there were no tomorrow. But they have a variety of other chips and snacks and flavors and things like that in there, just like the Japanese plump soda, which was honestly really delicious to help wash that all down. Now, special for our listeners, if you use coupon code Featured Anime along with our affiliate link in the show notes, you get $5 off that very first box. And trust me, the treats are always oh so worth it. They're always delicious. I can never honestly get enough of them. And the only thing that saddens me is when I eat the whole box in the exact same day, because I have nothing to enjoy for the rest of the month. Now, again, Special for our listeners, if you use our affiliate link in the show notes and then coupon code featured anime, you get $5 off that first box. And now on to the meat and potatoes. Trapped in a dating sim, the world of otome games is tough for mobs. Came out in April 2022, ran all the way through June 2022. Producers for it are ATX, Sammy, Bilibili, Kodokawa, just to name a couple of them. Studio is Engi. It's based off of a light novel. The genres are action, fantasy, romance, harem, isekai, mecha, just to kind of round it all off for the genres. And honestly, how the core story, the premise, one might say, for this anime is you have our main character, Leon, we never know his original name beforehand, ends up dying after literally playing the game until he gets 100%, only then to be reincarnated in this world. Now, being that he knows everything in this world, knows all about the characters, the main characters of the game and everything like that, he chooses to try and stay in the background simply because he views himself as a mob, a background character. As a result, he also uses his knowledge to gain advantages through other means so that way he can live a more comfortable and cushy life. However, because of his background knowledge and the fact that there is yet another person that also reincarnated in this world, they are kind of competing with each other. Leon trying to put things back the way they were and on track in a manner of speaking, versus the other character who wants to become the main character and protagonist, which alters the balance of everything in that universe as a whole from what both Leon and the other individual know. This entire anime largely surrounds Leon, his adventures and everything going through that, as well as slightly touching on the other characters. But this is the core of that story. Now, granted, I left out a lot of information and all the other shenanigans and things like that in there. And, but I do feel like that is a good summarization of it. How about you, Rick?
Well, everything except the second person that we find out much later, almost spoiler worthy, that they know the game, that they're a reincarnated person.
It's not much later.
Well, I mean, it's confirmed at the last episode.
It's confirmed before that even. I mean, like you know that the other person does almost at the beginning, within the, I want to say, second or third episode. They even talk about it. It's even brought up. Lexian even brings up, it's like, yes, this other person is also in the same situation as you and using their knowledge in this world to put themselves in a better situation. That was the last episode. No, that was not the last episode.
I promise that was the last episode.
I can guarantee you, because Leon Belfort sent him out there to gain information, and he comes back and says this within episode 3.
Yeah, episode 3 says, I can give you everything except the measurements. But in the last episode, he goes, I'm surprised you haven't noticed.
No, I know this because I remember that specifically. He brought it up and he says everything but their measurements. He goes, I want that. He goes out, comes back and says this in that same episode.
Okay. We'll have to agree to disagree on this particular point, only because I just watched it and I'm 100% certain that
so did I.
He was surprised by it.
He was not surprised by it. He was surprised by the other person, because even during the battle, for when the other person, when he was sitting there saying, hey, you're going to battle, he goes, you're not even getting the lines right. And he points that out. Like, you're not even pretending to be that person correctly. That's why he's trying to put,
he does say that.
That's why he's trying to put Olivia back into that situation.
Okay. I do agree with you in a certain sense that that's exactly what he was trying to do. However, again, I will agree to disagree on this particular point then, because I could have sworn everything up until this particular moment in time, when he's told about it in the last episode, he seems surprised.
Episode 4 reveals that she is not merely the daughter of a Viscount, as shown in the original Atonement game. In fact, he finds out that she is a fellow isekai hero like Leon, as well. Only thing he doesn't know is that she is his little sister.
You know, that part, I'm not going to lie, was kind of funny.
Yes. Which honestly, like the verbiage and everything all the way through the entire series, you know that's who it is. They don't know.
Well, of course. Yeah. No, I 100% agree with you. Let me see. So episode 12, about 20 minutes in, he's having a conversation, and that's when it's revealed, and he goes, huh. But that's fine. It's a weird... If they acknowledge it earlier, he's an idiot for not realizing.
All right. So you say it's the last episode. I say it was a lot earlier. All right. So we'll agree to disagree.
Episode 12, 21 minutes, 35 seconds.
Right. I'm going to tell you just rewatch episode 4.
Okay. So yeah, 35 seconds. And so you don't really think we're the same, do you? And then it says, trust me, this merely is a human, by all means, master, be friendly, whatever. Right before that, he's saying that you're both knowledgeable, exploiting your previous lives to gain romantic favors. So I apologize. It's 21 minutes, 30 seconds.
Right. I'm telling you to go rewatch 12. Episode 4.
Okay.
I'm telling you to just go.
That apparently we're both right, because it says it in both times.
Right. And that's fine, but that him not realizing it or coming to terms with it doesn't surprise me at all, in all honesty. Because for him, he's always tried to play the background character. He's always trying to not be in the middle of the forefront of everything, although he ends up putting himself in there. Future Jack here. We just wanted to provide some clarification. Rick and I both went back and rewatched it. The episodes in regards to what we were both talking about, 3, 4, and episode 12. Rick and I both came to the realization that Rick misunderstood what was being said at the end, and that I didn't understand what he was saying about the end either. And that he does, in fact, in episode 3, reconfirm. He does, in fact, say, like me, Marie isn't from this world. It's episode 3, timestamp 14 minutes, 59 seconds in which he says this. And that is where the confusion came in, is that the surprise knowledge for Leon is that, like him, Marie is using her previous world knowledge of the game, just like Leon is. And that's where Leon's surprise came in.
In the best way possible.
Yes.
So aside from our disagreement, the show is freaking hilarious, because 99% of the time he's trying to maintain his irrelevancy to being a background character, right, simply for the base reason of no problems, because he's had he's played 100%. He's completed it out. He got everything. And he knows that there could be really, really bad endings, really wrong endings. And he's trying really hard not to. And for lack of a better way to put it, his younger sister didn't. She just played the main storyline, took the completed game that he did, and was like, oh, okay, so this is what I got to do. And so she kind of did a self-insert somehow. I could have sworn this had a second season, but I don't see it.
It's coming out.
I've seen this before.
It's coming out. So it's, I brought up the exact same question in our Discord. Jeb also confirmed it with me, saying that it is on the books. When it comes out is another story.
See, this is one of the same issues I had with Overlord. I could have sworn I saw it years before it came out on Crunchyroll, and you proved me wrong there too. And I'm not saying that I'm bitter about it. I promise. It's just, I have strong memories of seeing this before, but also having like a second season to it, and there's nothing. And I don't think it's a deja vu kind of situation, because it makes no sense. But yeah, it either this is so similar to what I've seen before, or I just have a very vivid imagination.
No, I'm honestly right there with you. There's a lot of anime, in all honesty, in my personal opinion, there is a lot of anime that are coming out where I'm just like 99% sure I've seen it before, where I'm watching it. I'm like, I could have swore I've seen this before. I could have swore I saw this before. And I even brought that up in our Discord before a few times where I'm watching a show. It's a brand new show. Hasn't even finished airing. And I'm bringing it up. I'm like, man, I could have swore I've seen this before. It's so familiar, so vaguely familiar. And this gives you the exact same vague reality of it. The exact same vague story, where you're like, this is like, it's common enough, or it's done in such a way where when you're watching it, you realize like there's other similar kind of stories, but it's also different enough that it's going to be.
But this is definitely a unique show. Like it has its own vibe to it. It has its own feeling. It has its own, I'm not going to say life because that's a bit excessive, but it's got its own originality that it brings to the table that makes you. This is a perfect palate cleanser. You don't got to think about it too much. My biggest gripe originally when I was watching the first 4 episodes, I could have sworn I saw just absolute pitiful animation, dialogue, everything. And then it slightly gets better, and it slightly gets better without you really realizing it. And I think they did that on purpose. I could be just me seeing stuff. I think they did that on purpose to signify a very generic blah game that, due to his interaction and his interference, becomes a more well-rounded, real-world experience deviating from the game. Did you happen to notice that, or am I crazy?
No.
No, you didn't, or no, I'm not crazy.
No, I didn't notice it, but no, you're not crazy. Just because I didn't notice it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, well, the reason I noticed it, I couldn't stand it. The first episode, I'm like, this is absolute dog water.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. And then by episode 6, I was like, this is great. The performance you see, the everything about it, it is pure comedy gold, because he's doing literally everything that I would want to do were I in his situation.
Oh yeah.
If I had played this game, I'd be like, well, I paid for stuff before, and the beauty of it, he's like, what did he say in the first episode before he dies? The luxury of disposable income, the glory of being an adult.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something like that. And I'm like, you're
not wrong.
Yeah.
Not wrong, but at the exact same time, it's like he's also grumbling about, it's like, this is ridiculous. You buy the game, you pay full price for the game, but then you're having to pay for all this other stuff that will give you an advantage in the game. It was literally a pay to win scenario.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And it's frustrating because a lot of the things you try to do, pay to win it's not fun, but necessary. So, well, I should phrase it. A lot of the new games, like, for instance, going off on a bit of a tangent for a minute, forgive me. I played a game, I forget what it's called. It was a Fable spin-off kind of thing. And I love Fable. Fable is probably in my top 10. Love it. If they just revamped it and sent it back out, I'd buy it all over again.
Oh, for sure. In fact, they've done like a remastered version where they've included like additional content and things like that as well, if I remember correctly. But they've done a remastered version at the very least, and yours truly,
I played that on my Xbox.
Yours truly bought it, So there are some games where you just watch it and you're like, I would totally buy a remastered version of that. I would 100%. Not one of these ones where they keep every single system, every single iteration, they just regurgitating the exact same thing. It's like, no, it came out the one time, give it its just desserts, like on a special anniversary edition or whatever it is.
Yes. But now, there's a really old game that you might not have played before. If you have, I hope you can attest to how good it was. If not, then don't go looking for it because it doesn't hold up. It's called Legend of Dragoon. And the story, everything like that, when I first played it, I have severe nostalgia about this particular game. If they just updated it, I'd purchase it again. You can beat the game with no updates, no upgrades, all the upgrades. it scales to you in a very weird way. And there's some characters that they give you and that you have the ability to play that you don't have to touch even once. Or you can abandon your main character and go with these characters. Of course, this main storyline will still boost your character, your main character, as if it's, but you don't have to have him in your party when you're fighting. It's so fun. Anyway, if they were to update that, what, have you played it?
I'm going to be honest. It sounds familiar to me, but I can't remember if I've ever played it.
So this will remind you if you've ever played it or not. The attack sequences is it simply a square that starts out the size of the screen, at the size of the screen, getting smaller until you hit a perfect hitbox. Then you have to hit a button. I forget which one it is. You have to hit a button to lock it in, and if you get it good enough,
there's a couple games that are like that. So, but no,
well, this one is. Okay, I was gonna say this one. It has a sequence of them that if you have epilepsy, it will trigger it.
Okay, no. I can't say that I have, in all honesty. But going back to what you were saying in for this anime.
Yeah. So the sorry, I know I was off on a tangent. The microtransactions that are placed forth seem a bit unfair, but his sister's not going to go through all that. And because he did, he was able to see all the massive perks and he was able to get this advanced system and stuff like that. So he was able to do everything the safe way, the correct way to survive until the end, basically guaranteed. Whereas this other character isn't and didn't and won't and is causing all of this backlash. And I think it's just growing his harem. If I'm being 100% honest, it feels like that's the only thing that's happening. And in doing so, the thing I liked about it was that he had his own revelation, if you will, of himself.
Right.
Because he himself was like, I could have this, I could have that, I could have cat-haired girls everywhere, elves at my disposal. And he goes, but that makes me no better than the girls at this school. And then his little AI bot right next to him goes, it's so refreshing to see you have self-revelations about yourself. Are you going to do anything about it? And he goes, nope. I like me the way I am. And the banter back and forth is just pristine. I thought it was fake. I watched the sub. It's not. That's the actual dialogue, and it's awesome. Sorry.
No, you're good. I mean, the only thing that I can say is that it's great to, know that you had such a wonderful time with this anime.
I'm gonna guess you didn't.
I did. I enjoyed it. I just didn't love it as much as you, but it was still enjoyable. Oh, yeah. It was fun. It was. I was
laughing my butt off. So hard that even by myself, I was driving home and I at the stoplights, I'd watch it, or when there was a train passing and it's a good 5-6 minute wait, I'll hit the play button. And there was a few times, I think I even texted you, I'm like, dude, I just laughed my butt off out loud in my car by myself. And every time I felt that way, it was in my mind, sweet justice. Granted, planned out, according to the plot, whatever, but whenever he would fall upwards, it was hilarious. He goes, I don't want any of this. You know what you should do? Blame these people. Blame these people who want power. Blame these people who want achievement. Blame these people who want the accolades to go along with it. And everyone to his face is like, yeah, no problem. And then the second he leaves the room, it feels like they're like, that's what true nobility is.
Oh, yeah.
Screw it. We're going to give him a title, and then we're going to raise the title. And upon graduation, he's going to get a 5th title.
Well, it's not even just that, right? When when they talk about how he's like true nobility and everything like that, especially after episode 5, right? The duel.
Yeah.
You get the feeling at the exact same time, the individuals in question, what's her face's, Angelica's parents. The Angelica, after he defeats the princess, but after Angelica's father and brother talk to him, and he's like, yes, all I ask is is to not admonish them this or that. I accept full responsibility. I will gladly give all this up and blah, blah, blah. Release me from my obligations. I will leave school because he's being forced to marry someone of a particular rank, and he does not want to marry anyone there, in all honesty. And everyone he does want to marry, he can't or doesn't want to.
He doesn't feel he can.
Right. Or he doesn't feel like he can. And so it backfires on him when he's trying to admonish himself. He's like, oh, please, take care of them. And he's trying to keep himself from being recognized all the way throughout all these other different things. I agree with you. Yeah. Every single time it just backfires completely on him. He goes, I didn't want this. I didn't want to be a higher ranked noble. I didn't want all this extra stuff. I just want to be left alone.
Yeah.
It's
he gets to a
amazing.
spot where he's like 2 levels higher than his own dad. He goes, why? And then when he graduates, they're going to give him a boost again. He goes, I just wanted to be a mob in the background with my own little island with all the money that I robbed from these nobles. By the way, that was awesome. There was a super small sliver, and he kept betting on himself and betting on something. And you just see the face that he makes. They're like, you're cheating. He goes, I'm winning. You can call it cheating, whatever. And then everyone else hates him because they're like, you took my money. Oh, no, I'm broke. And the background was awesome. They're like, I can't afford food. He's like, you shouldn't have bet then. Gambling is an addiction.
Right? It's only bad if you're losing, and I ain't losing. And it's not that he's cheating or anything like that. He's not betting on himself to lose, to throw the fight. Yeah. He's betting on himself to win, right? So it's understandable if he's betting on himself to lose and he throws the fight. Everyone, the odds are completely stacked against him. No one expects him to win or anything like that. And there's still diehard saying, no, he's going to lose. He's like, yeah, I'm going to win. I'm going to bet everything on me.
Everything.
And he knows he's going to win. And what's even better is the AI, the Lexion that he has with him, it does analysis and everything like that as well. So that way, when he goes on to other things and bets, he's still winning. And he's just, he's like, I'm not even playing the odds. He's like, I'm just winning. It's only a losing bet if you're not going to win, and I'm going to win every single time.
Yeah. Oh, he's got the theme song. All I do is win, 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 no matter what.
Yes.
That's his entrance to anything he does. And it becomes a little bit annoying. Oh, sorry. It becomes a little annoying. I will grant you that. But not in a way that you're like, I wish he would lose. Because even when he tries to lose, and I genuinely, even when he tries to lose, the only thing he can do is prevent somebody else from losing their lives, and he has to win that way. He's like, I don't want to win. I just want to lose. But your suit's going to explode if you keep going. And the guy's like, I've heard this tactic before. Fight like a man. He's like, but I just want to lose. Please let me lose. Who knows if he bet on himself to lose or not.
Right.
But he's like, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to throw the match. They're going to be the center of attention. It's going to be great. I'm going to just fade to the background like I know I should, like I know I want to, and he doesn't at all. He's like, if you keep going, it's going to kill you. On God. He's like, crud.
Yeah.
Can we just disintegrate the bot and keep him alive?
Oh yeah, no, and they do that. So, but what's great is you can really feel it at that point where he's just like, I'm fine. I'm ready to just go in the back. I will make him look spectacular. And Lexion's like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen, dude. You gotta take it out. You got to destroy it or he will die. It's haphazardly put together. You gotta take it out, man. You gotta do this. And
every time you see the other character who also has foreknowledge and stuff like that come through, and they're just like, you spent how much on that? Oh dear, how much did you lose? How much did you spend? I could have lived 5 lifetimes on what you just threw away. It's gold. Like, I hope that they finish the episode. They're not the episode. I finished the series with her and the princes and his love interests all on a continent, if you will, and they're all living happily ever after because he realizes who his sister is, but he puts her through the ringer before that, you know?
Yeah.
Because all they want, he wants a quiet life and she wants a life of luxury. He can provide both by simply acknowledging, hey, not only do I know you, but we're going to favor each other from now on.
Right.
You want your princes? Fine. You've got them. Let's go over here and live a peaceful life outside of everywhere. I've got a badass AI that is not only capable of making us a paradise, we're going to make the best fortress around this place that we'll never even have to man, because we're just going to live beautiful, blissful lives in this paradise, and the AI will take care of any and all defense. The world can go fly a kite for all he cares, and so long as they don't bother me, they'll survive. If they try to bother me, my AI will do scorched earth everywhere else.
Yeah.
And he's not wrong.
No, he's honestly, he's not wrong. And honestly, for the main character, as much as disliked as he is, as much as money grubbing and everything else that he is, I feel like he was one of the more relatable characters too, as weird as that is. Largely because, again, you know, like you had said before, he does the exact same thing that we would totally do. I totally use
100%.
my knowledge of the gaming world to my advantage 100%, which makes him all the more relatable for it.
Absolutely.
And then for Mary, her whole driving force is just that money, right? Which is why she's really hung up on it. She wants to live that cushy life. And rather than utilizing her knowledge to put herself in a far better, superior position like Leon did, she is totally not using that to her advantage at all.
Well, you and I both know she didn't play the game. The only thing she knows is, I got to get these princes to love me. Everyone else can go off wherever they got to go, but I'm going to be living my best life because of this.
No, she did play the game. And the reason why I say is she did play the game because she knows where to go and roughly the lines to say to fall in line with the game. While they're not exact or not verbatim, she does, she knows how to play it to her advantage. Like, she knows where to go for certain things and everything else. She knows how to play to it. And we'll dive a little bit into the in the post show on why I say that specifically.
Okay.
Especially at the end, is where it really comes into, so that way you know what's going on. However, her knowledge of the game is at a basic level, right? It's like you and I played through. Yeah, like played through it. I understand majority of it. I know how to get it most of the way there. The intimate details of the game and everything else that Leon did when he played through to get that 100% is another story entirely, because he rocked it. He spent money on it. He went all out and just owned it 100%.
And the only reason that he did that is because his sister had dirt on him. And she told him, hey, I need 100% completion because there's an awesome soundtrack at the end if you get everybody to love you. And I'm going to need that one.
Yeah.
I'm going to need that 100% beautiful sound. Make him a ringtone or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Something. I don't know. No one knows.
Yeah. Man. I don't got much more without ruining too much. What about you?
I am right there with you, man. In all honesty. So on a scale of up to 10, because I don't have anything else, and I know you're ready for a rating. On a scale of up to 10, sir, how would you rate this?
This one's going to be a solid 8 for me. It'd be a 10 if a few of the faux pas were erased, but overall, it wasn't amazing by itself. For a comedy, solid gold. For world building, it did decently. For appeal, not very high. Like, if this was pitched as a hey, you should just watch this, I'm like, okay, another isekai, whatever. So that's where it falls off for me. Everything else seemed to be better. Again, I didn't like the first 2 episodes, but it makes sense in the grand scheme of how the show progressed. It got substantially better, in my opinion. Graphics wise, dialogue wise, flow wise, I feel like it got better. I just kind of wished it was that way from the beginning, but again, it's a stylistic choice that I'm sure that they had thought long and hard on. So I'm giving it an 8. I would recommend it to everyone. Rated E for everyone. Yeah, I feel like that's where I would put it. I don't really see too many drawbacks with it, but either way. What about you?
I'd give it a 7. It's enjoyable. It's fun. It's got its great moments. The animation sometimes kind of gets a little wonky for me. My personal opinion on that. It's not bad animation by any stretch of the imagination. It's just when you're watching it, sometimes the character movements are a little
jittery.
Yeah. A little off. It definitely gives you a strong sense of deja vu when you're watching it.
Yes.
It gives you a very strong sense of deja vu. Like it hasn't been done. It is unique enough. However, when you're watching it, it's kind of predictable too at the exact same time. So that's the only other thing that's kind of drawing it back. Also, how it ends, it's just kind of, it's closed, but it's not really closed. It's open, but not really open. You're just kind of left in limbo as to what'll go on. You know, it's going to continue on. How it's going to continue on and the point at which it's going to continue on is another story entirely. So yeah, that's why I'm giving it a 7. It's still worth a watch. It's still a good anime to watch. But that's about it. I will watch season 2 when season 2 comes out. I would recommend this, especially for people who are looking for an easy anime to get into, something that's not very deep in terms of substance and story and everything else. This is an easy show, easy anime to watch for sure.
Yeah. If you want a relatable view, this is it. Because again, I relate to the main character's desires and methods of doing things. You seem so tasty, so unbelievably awesome, because he's sticking it to the upper echelon while still maintaining his values. And you can't do anything to me. You can't do anything to me that you already haven't tried and failed at. So bring it. And it's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So that's all I got, man. You got anything else or?
Nope. All you, man.
All right. Well, now next week we're going to be watching another recommendation. We're going to watch the Ambition of Oda Nobuna, which was another recommendation by Jebedy Jeb. It's a 12-episode anime. It's available to watch, and he recommended this anime almost 2 years ago. Now at this point,
we're getting there. We're getting there.
We're getting there. We still have a long list of anime that we need to kind of go through, and we will eventually get through them all. So I do apologize. But if you feel like we did too much justice, not enough justice, got everything right, everything wrong, or anything in between or anything like that, feel free to let us know. Go to featuredanimepodcast.com. All the contact information and stuff like that is available to you there, or you can go to our show notes. All that information is there too. And until next time, I'm Jack.
I'm Rick, and we'll see you next time.